Today we're making something that I fell in love with. I moved to the city of Atlanta and totally fell in love with Jamaican food. Today I'm making all my favorites: Jamaican style oxtails, peas and rice, and cabbage. All we're missing is the cocoa bread. Come on guys, let's get started. I already have my oxtails here. They've been marinating overnight. So what I did was I washed them, and you want to wash them really good, and you can also take a knife and trim the fat from around the edges and the sides of the oxtails. Once you do that, then you're ready to season. Now you want to get your salt, your pepper, paprika, garlic powder, and season them well, and make sure you toss them once you've seasoned them. After they've been seasoned, then you're ready to add your few vegetables. Go ahead and cut up some onions in chunks, bell peppers, and then put a little crushed garlic in there as well. So let's get our ingredients in the pot so they can brown and get this flavor started. First things first, get your burner turned on, and I have it on about medium high, and then you want to go ahead and add some oil to your pot. And when you add your oil, make sure you add enough that it coats the bottom of the pan, because what you're going to do is you're going to brown your oxtails first. Our oil is hot. Let's go ahead and get these oxtails in some oil. Be sure to let your oxtails brown on one side for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then you'll go ahead and turn them over and let them brown on the other side for the same amount of time. Our oxtails have been browning. I'm going to go ahead and flip them over so they can brown on the other side. You know, I really love having a ginger beer when I eat my Jamaican food. It's so good and refreshing. I like ginger beer. And now we'll let them brown some on the other side before we add our water. Now that you've let your oxtails brown on both sides for about 3 to 5 minutes, now it's time to go ahead and add some water. And you want to add enough water to cover your oxtails. Once you have enough water to cover your oxtails, you're going to allow them to cook for about 2 to 3 hours. Make sure you check on them. If your water evaporates or, cook out, you'll need to add more water. You'll check to make sure they're tender, but again, it really takes about 2 to 3 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and cover the oxtails and let them simmer, and we're going to start on the peas and rice. So what you're going to need is long grain rice, coconut milk, green pigeon peas. You'll also need kosher salt, oregano, tomato paste, onion, garlic, as well as cilantro. And you'll also need some oil. To get started on our peas and rice, we're going to go ahead and put some oil in the pan. We're going to coat the pan with oil. And then we're adding ½ a cup of finely chopped onion, as well as garlic. Now we're going to add our cilantro and oregano. And you're going to stir this for about 5 minutes until your onions are translucent. And now to your onion and cilantro mixture, you're going to add 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. Next, you're going to add in a can of undrained pigeon peas. After you add in your pigeon peas, you're going to go ahead and add in 2 cups of water, and this does have your bouillon cubes absorbed in the water. Now let's stir in our coconut milk. And now you're going to stir in your 2½ cups of long grain rice. We have our peas and rice here in the pot, and we're waiting on our rice to come to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, you turn it down, of course stir it, and then you'll cover it and let it cook for 20 minutes. I'm about to do what my husband would call busting down the cabbage. So I'm going to take this cabbage here. I'm going to go ahead and cut it in half. I'm not going to work with the whole thing today. Oh wow, guys, look, the peas and rice are done. Rice good and fluffy, peas are nice and soft. I can't wait to dig in. Now let's get over to these oxtails. Okay, now the oxtails here, they've been cooking for almost 2 hours, and you can tell where they're pulling away from the bone, so that means they're getting tender. Now what we're going to do now is go ahead and add our secret ingredient. One of the things that one of my friends from the UK taught me is to add Jamaican burnt sugar to your oxtails. So we're going to put a little bit of the Jamaican burnt sugar in. And you'll start to see the color of the gravy at the bottom of the pan change. And you just stir that in. Now that we've added our burnt sugar, take a look at the color there. Changed it totally. Now we're going to go ahead and add ketchup. And I'm using my favorite organic ketchup. Squeeze in some ketchup. And give it a stir. Guys, you want to add the ketchup to taste, but I like mine really rich. If you've ever had Jamaican oxtails before, you know that flavor that you're looking for, so I recommend that you add and taste, add and taste. We're almost done. Now we want to go ahead and start on our cabbage. Let's go ahead and get some olive oil in the pan. We're going to go ahead and add some carrots for color, and you want to let them saute for about 2 to 3 minutes before you add your cabbage. This meal is really coming together. It's going to be great. What you want to do is season your cabbage and continue to cook it down. Just season it to your liking. You know I love different seasonings, and I've definitely added them. And I like for my cabbage to have somewhat of a crunch. I don't do the soggy, soft cabbage. So, you know, just do your cabbage to your liking. What a wonderful way to bring all these flavors together. I told you all we were missing was the cocoa bread. Guys, I really appreciate you watching. And this was my first whole meal that we done. So, again, thank you. And as always, it's been real. Bye now.